Hello and welcome to another video from Armoury Antiques and Militaria and our YouTube channel. Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, we feature all sorts on our channel, including furniture, paintings, antiques, arms and armour, medals, swords, bayonets, suits of armour, etc, etc, etc. And today we're just going to feature a little pair of World War I medals that recently came in that I thought was worth talking to you about because they're very poignant things, especially when you get photographs with them so you can see the picture of the men or the man that owned the medals, earned them during World War I, and his story. And I really do like those items, as you probably know from our previous videos. So what do we have here? Well, we've got here his cap badge, which, as you can see, has the King's crown on the top here. Now, if you don't know your crowns, and I'm telling you off now, all right, you need to research and learn your crowns because that will help you date things when you're looking at antiques, arms and armour, medals, swords, etc, etc. As you can see, we've got the Latin inscription around the edge here. We've got GR and a V in the middle, George V, which makes perfect sense because we're talking about World War I items. And we've got the Royal Engineers written in this banner at the bottom. Now, if we turn it over, you'll find we've got the slider. This is called a slider, which you'd slide into your cap or your beret or whatever you may be wearing. But that's a typical fixing for a Royal Engineers cap badge that you see from World War I. People often ask us, how can you tell the difference between a World War I cap badge and a World War II one? Well, or even a post-war one, if you like, you know, Queen Elizabeth II onwards, 53 or something like that. Well, it's all to do with the crown, first of all. That's the first place you look. Then the iconography, because obviously this tells us it's George V, World War I. But also, if it's the quality of the materials that are used, the coloration, and the quality of the item itself. So there, and also, look, you mustn't underestimate, excuse me, experience. You handle enough of these things, you get a feel for it, and you look at these details and it's very easy to identify World War I, World War II or post-war. So there's a nice cap badge there. If you look at his photograph, you'll see pictures of him here, and you'll see pictures of a little tick above, and you'll see the cap badge in wear on the top there. So that's quite nice to see. So we know it's this gentleman here, which is nice to see. And you've got their puttees on, and they're sitting in a studio portrait here. We've got a Lance Corporal and Corporal's regimental markings or rank insignia here. Missing their cross belts, which is unusual. Sometimes they wore cross belts, but it's nice to see a period picture with these individuals in the picture, which is nice to see. So that's that. We've also got here a little in loving memory card, which is quite poignant. If you open it up, we've got the name of the individual and the date that they died and their age, and that's quite nice to have as well. So that's interesting. And then we've got also the ribbon bar. Now, the ribbon bar was worn, as you know, ribbon bars are always worn for less formal occasions. So, you know, on your blazers or whatever, at dinners or whatever, that sort of thing. Not miniatures, but not quite for miniatures. Lounge suit sort of wear, but not for evening dinners with dinner suits and mesh dress and that sort of thing. You'd be wearing miniature medals for that, not a ribbon bar. That's nice. And that reflects the two medals, of course, which we have here. So clearly we've got the Victory Medal here with its ribbon, very distinctive, like this rainbow pattern, and you've got Victory on the front here, and you've got written on the back here, the Great War for Civilization, 1914 to 1919. Now also on the edges of these medals, as you probably know, you'll find the individuals, let's get it into focus for you, the individual's rank, name, and regiment, and all that kind of thing. If you get ones that are rubbed or have damage to these names, don't buy them, walk away. You don't want them. They've been messed about with. We've got the War Medal here. These are normally in solid silver or sterling silver rather, and you've got the King's head on one side and the Latin around the edges. You've obviously got the iconography on the back of the medal here, again, 1914 to 1918. Got the horse, and it's stamping on skull and crossbones and the eagle of the German Prussian Empire. So quite interesting iconography. Again, if these edges, it's always named on the edges you can see here, make sure they're matching, that sort of thing. But if they're rubbed or damaged, walk away. You don't want them, that you're being conned, all right? Just walk away. Someone's messed about with them and you really don't want them at all. Okay, so there's the pair of medals. Got another document down here. Let's have a look at this. It's quite fragile. So certificate of registry of birth, again, reflecting the name that we saw on this card here. So you can see the name here. And you've also got the name on this document, which I would suggest would be better kept flat in an envelope because it's going to tear very easily and be destroyed. But obviously it's marked Islington in southeast London. Know that very, very well, and it reflects the same name. So that's nice to have that with that group of items. Now, World War I medals, what can we tell you about those? Well, let's be honest with this stuff. They're getting harder to find in good condition, and also there's been a great deal of interest in these objects over the last few years. Now, what sort of medals should you be collecting? What ones should you be looking for? You know, what's the good investment? Well, look, if you're a historian, it doesn't matter. If you're a historian, you're after the stories of the people, how they earned the medals, because we can research this very, very easily with the right archives. I do it all the time, and we can find out perhaps if he was entitled to more medals or different medals, if he was injured or gassed, if he changed regiments, all sorts of stuff we can find out about these people. Which on the face of it, you just got a medal perhaps, maybe you've just got a medal on its own, but that's good enough for us to find out so much more information and put the story together. So it's not really about how much things are worth or what's the best investment, but we do get asked by people what's the best investment for them to go down the route if they wanted to collect medals and they want to obviously make sure they get a return on what they've invested their money in. Now, you can go for gallantry medals and the higher awards, but it's going to cost you an awful lot of money for those. And I always have this rule with any antiques, arms and armour, or indeed any item you buy, whether it's a medal, a helmet, a sword, a gun, doesn't matter what it is. Condition, scarcity, and desirability. They're the three things you're looking for. And in addition to that, what you've got to bear in mind is what I call the 5-year rule. If you buy something for yourself as a collector, a historian, or whatever it may be, you should sit on that, not literally, but you should sit on it for 5 years. Then it will give you a good return. If you're going to buy something and then flip it literally 5 minutes later on, it won't give you the return that perhaps you're looking for, because it's the same with anything. It's like motorbikes, it's like cars, it depends where you buy it and how much you pay for it, but you can't flip things that quickly and make a good return on your investment that quickly. You've got to have that rule in mind, and I've always lived by that rule, which has always worked for me. So just a little bit of humble advice there for you. Well, look, we hope you've enjoyed this video. I know it's only on some World War I medals. It's just a bit of fun for you and a little chat and a little bit of advice. But in the meantime, look, click the bell icon down below. Don't forget to subscribe. Put some comments down below. Give us a thumbs up. And don't forget, look after yourselves. Stay safe. And we look forward to meeting you down here at Armoury Antiques and Militaria, where you'll be made very, very welcome. We've got a 5-star Google business rating. You type into Google who is the most highly rated antiques, arms and armour dealer in the United Kingdom, or indeed the world. We're the first ones to come up because we've got a 5-star Google business rating. Our clients speak. So they know what we're talking about. We're a trusted source for antiques, arms and armour, and you'll get the service you need here. Once again, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you down here at our antique shop here in Tavistock, Devon. Thanks for watching.